6:30.
Now they're gonna move the river.
All right, if somebody would like to lead us off with the pledge.
Sure.
Participate.
Move the river, straighten the river out. And then,
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. I am
Sir, how are you?
calling this meeting to order. It's 6:30 PM. We're at the town office building, meeting room. It is Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. The first thing that we've got on our agenda for tonight is a public hearing for case number 26012. Before we get into that, I'm going to have the members go around and introduce themselves. I'm going to start with my left this time.
Tracy Stickney, Land Use Coordinator.
Blair Haney, not a fan of change.
That's crazy. I wasn't ready for this. Chris Evans, Planning Board Secretary.
Danny Arsenal, Vice Chair.
Drew Stevens, Chair.
Glenn Griswold, alternate.
Carrie DeGeorge, Board Member.
Skip Severn's alternate.
Right, and we have Mr. Lichtenwallner joining us now as well. I did receive correspondence from Adam Ryan that he was not going to be able to make it. Blair, did we seat an alternate for the BOS rep?
I don't think you can.
Okay, I didn't think so.
There's a way to do it, but it has to be like another BOS or maybe
Okay, got it.
designated or something.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Any, Glenn and Skip, do you want to fight it out who gets seated for
I'm not gonna fight it out.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I'll seat Glenn for the open planning board seat right now for this meeting.
Sit on my hands.
Okay, so the case we have before us tonight is case 26012, Sub Lagrange, 60 Ledge Farm Road, a scenic road. Application from Peter Landry of Landry Surveying LLC on behalf of Daniel F. Lagrange, requesting a two-lot conventional subdivision. The property is located at 60 Ledge Farm Road in Nottingham, New Hampshire, and is identified as tax map number 58, lot number 6. Ledge Farm Road is a scenic road, and this case was continued from June 10th.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Peter Landry. Again, as the chairman mentioned, we're a continuance. We were asked to go discuss our scenic road entrance with our proposed driveway with the Nottingham Conservation Commission on the 13th of this month, which we did. And I'd asked them for documentation as to the pros and cons of their approval of the driveway, proposed driveway, in which I have not seen yet. I don't know if the chairman has received anything from the Nottingham Conservation Commission, but I have not. I called Sam Demerit this afternoon and left a message. I looked on the website and I did get copies of the minutes. Of course, they're unofficial minutes of the 10th, and they do not clearly state their position. They left it somewhat hanging, that they were going to go out, and the way I remember it and the way it's written, is they were going to go out on their own after the meeting and take a look at it, and if they had something to say, they would come back and report back to the planning board. I'm hearing that they may not have. So I would say that no news is perhaps good news, but again, not official. I can't hand the board anything because I have nothing on that one, so, except for the minutes. So I don't know, that was 5 weeks ago when we were asked to do that. We waited, which is fine. We waited, there was some confusion as to whether we were even a scenic road. There appears to be some work the board's going to do. That's how we got started off on the wrong foot to begin with. But at this point, I guess I'll have to leave it up to the chairman and the board, because I could not continue 5 weeks ago because I didn't have the input from apparently the reason was I didn't have the input from the conservation. And now 5 weeks later, I'm sitting in, I still don't really have it. But I do have some minutes, and for all of you who may or may not know, Drew was also on the Conservation Commission, and he was at that meeting. So I don't know if he could chime in if he'd like to, or help out, or...
Yeah, I can clarify a bit. I am not sure why, a letter wasn't written or sent out. That was my understanding that was what was going to happen as well. I'm just a member of that commission and not the secretary or, one of the people in charge of making that happen. So I don't know how that fell through the cracks. But I did receive correspondence from Ms. Mooney, who is the secretary of the Conservation Commission, on July 17th, which is 5 days ago, stating that she and Cheryl Smith, the co-chair of the Conservation Commission, did drive-bys of the flagged driveway on the property, and that all appears to be in order. And I did not get any correspondence from any of the other members of the Conservation Commission stating that they had any issues with it. And I believe that can be considered, approval or acceptance by the Conservation Commission that, their part of things on the scenic road is satisfactory.
As you remember, there was a couple of conditions. They were, Cheryl, co-chair, had mentioned when we removed the stones, to place them on the side of the driveway. That's in the minutes, and certainly that's really not a big deal, but that's something, we gotta do something with the stones, so that's probably where they would end up by default. So if the board is satisfied with the conservation's input, I don't know if you need me to reiterate what I said a while ago, last 5 weeks ago, but we're really at a point now where I've given you, the board, pretty much of a rundown of what we're doing in here. I did not have Blair's comments at the last meeting, which didn't matter anyway because I wasn't heard. I did recently get those, but I will presume Blair would like to speak on that behalf. And then maybe we'll have a discussion after we run down his concerns. And if we need to go further with discussion, we'll talk more on whatever topics you'd like to talk about.
Okay, thank you. We didn't accept this at the last meeting, or did we? I'm forgetting.
Did accept
I
it.
thought so, okay.
Yeah, and we didn't vote that it's a DRI. We did those
Okay,
preliminary
right.
items.
Perfect.
But there is a waiver request that I believe was not acted upon. And then just the general application.
Okay.
So I have a question, actually. And I'm not sure if I should direct this to Blair or the board in general or the applicant. But on the staff comments, number 6, the unpaved driveway, isn't that section of Ledge Farm at the unpaved portion? Or is it right at the end there of the
It's
paved
close,
portion?
it's paved, right? It's paved in that area.
Okay. Okay, that answers that. I couldn't recall if it was all the way down or if it
I
was
can
on that.
recall, this has been around for a while, that apron, that Paul Colby was building inspector.
Yep.
I can recall some lots in town, maybe Kennard or a few others that had paved aprons, even though the road's dirt.
Yep.
So, with the idea that who knows, someday the road will get paved. Yeah, good question though. Yeah, that's all, they're out there now working according to the owner, the town, doing some improvements. So cars can go faster down that road.
Correct.
Thank you. So I don't know, Blair, if you, I don't.
Do you want me to go over?
Yeah, if the board doesn't have any other questions right now, we can have Blair go over the staff report.
Yeah, the board did accept it and vote it's not a DRI. The applicant does request a waiver for the test pits. They've received approval from DES July 9th, it's a almost 6.5 acre parcel, so it does appear capable of supporting a subsurface disposal system. So it does seem like a reasonable request, but I'll leave that to the board. We have not received Conservation Commission input, which we're aware of, but he did attend. I do want to ask about the driveway grade. We do have a subdivision regulation about not exceeding 8% and maintaining a negative grade until it reaches the ditch line. And then after that, it's a lot of edits. I did talk about the apron that was just brought up. So I feel like, and I put in recommended conditions of approval. I think that these would be added to based upon what we talk about in comments 3, 4, 5, and 6. So whatever gets resolved or discussed out of those would just be added to the conditions. But this is a starting point on recommendations as well as findings of fact. Again, the starting point, so. Two-lot subdivision, not terribly complicated. I just note that the reason for pointing out the grade is that they do have to cross, in the proposed lot, they have to cross the 25% excessive steep slope. And that's about it.
The plan says that it only goes up to 7.5%.
Oh, it does?
Yeah,
I did not see that.
It's on the topo sheet. And you have a negative 1%, as you mentioned, coming off the road, so we don't pour water onto the road. Is the design idea.
Is it in the notes or is it on the actual?
It's
Oh,
in the driveway.
proposed driveway construction.
Got it right in it. Yeah, every grade change, vertical change. Okay. I know we needed a little formatting,
Okay,
and I agreed, I don't know how it did, but this is the way it should have been.
okay.
But I can pass them along, we'll talk about that when I just
Okay.
go through all those 6 points when you're ready, when the chairman's ready.
Super efficient,
I think this was just.
mister,
What's that?
very efficient.
Do we want to act upon the waiver first?
I will make a motion to accept the waiver to subdivision regulation 18.2 as requested.
We have a motion, is there a second? We have a second, any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Right, that carries. You've got your waiver, Mr. Landry.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've answered the questions on the grading and the negative slope of the driveway. Any other outstanding things, Blair?
Just 4 and 5, but it looks like he's got a draft of it here.
Okay.
I mean, seems fine.
And you're just gonna revise this on the plan?
Yes, that's what I'd like to, that's what it's gonna look like, the formatting, I don't know how it got screwed up. But that's what it was supposed to look like. So that's what you're gonna see on the plan, that wording. If you'd like me to continue, maybe I could just speed it up a little for you, I don't wanna rush you, but, number one, we're gonna add scenic road, of course, underneath Ledge Farm Road, where it says public way, and that's legit. Number two, on the clean sheet, number two talks about the vernal pool, which we're aware of, it's well labeled on the plan. And then it talks about a 25-foot no disturbance vegetative buffer. And if you look on the clean sheet, there's a buffer line, you can see it looks like a little tree line, it's labeled 25-foot no disturbance. So I don't know if I need to add buffer, or is that the word, or?
It's fine.
Okay, so that's on there. Number three, that was the grading we just talked about, anything less than 8%, and we were showing that. Number four is the grammatical and edits. I had 6.1 or 6.2, whatever I had, is going to be changed to 6.3 up on top. Typo happens. And number, what are we at, 6? Yeah, 6. And that's the adding a note from the subdivision regulations regarding the 12-foot apron. So we'll use that citation, section 15.3.2.6 aprons, and add that to the plan. That takes care of the 6. The waiver we've just dealt with. If your legend of submitted material has been updated. We've been, this is progress. We've since we last met, we've got the New Hampshire subdivision approval. That's now on the punch list. We've had the monumentation certificate from day one. That's been on here, and we've got a vernal pool report from the wetland scientist that gives you everything you need to know about the vernal pool, how they came up with it, why they classified it a vernal pool. At the end, it's labeled a vernal pool. So some of the other general conditions, I think you call them, you have the monumentation certificate, but that's just something you usually get at the end, but you got it now. We're gonna do the scenic road, and then some payment stuff. Other than that, I think we covered everything that's in Blair's comments.
I'd like to say that I appreciate that the wetland assessment was done in May at a time when, the actual primary indicators for a vernal pool would be present.
We sent them back out. We were out there earlier, like January, and that really wasn't the right time with 3 feet of snow this year, so sent them back out. Prime May, ideal growing season conditions. Because you heard the spring peepers and everything and all that beforehand, before you got to it, but they found the other indicators that put it over the line for vernal.
Okay, do we have any other questions from the board, clarifications? And Blair, do you have any additional things that?
No, just adding to the list of conditions, those ones that are, we know he's gonna make, we just need to see them on the final plan before it's signed. So there should still be a condition, like I know he's gonna do it, and this is great to see, but,
No, that's gonna be on there for sure.
Yeah.
Just wanted you guys to see the wording.
Yep.
Didn't really change it, just formatted it differently.
yeah, no, that's good.
And Peter, the
Yes.
driveway tabular thing, which was on this one here. No, I don't, yeah, there was a, here it is. Previous one you had submitted had the proposed driveway construction. Excuse me.
Yes,
That's gonna be on the plan.
it's on the plan.
Yeah, but the one that the vernal pool people have doesn't. Never mind. The signature block was over. I got it. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
I mean, there's two separate plans that make up the whole, right?
Yeah.
They don't always, this one we generally will keep clean,
Right.
so it can get recorded, because they have high standards at Rockingham Registry.
No, I'm good. I thought it was a different plan that
Oh.
they issued, or no, as part of their package.
Okay, great.
Okay, I think we can open it up to public comment now, since we haven't done that. It's 6:50. I'm going to open the public comment for case 26012. Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak on this case? Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Please come up to the table, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Diane Richards, and I'm currently living at 60 Ledge Farm Road. I'm under contract to purchase the property, and I'm really hoping this passes. I only was curious where the house was going to be. That's all I needed to know. That's about it.
Okay.
And I appreciate everything that the board is doing to preserve that beautiful property, because it is lovely, lovely. And I will continue to be a land steward as well. And I do have bees. So I have bees on the property. And ultimately would like to start a bee farm, but that's another whole meeting, I'm sure. That's it.
All right, thank you for your testimony.
Thank you for your time.
Anybody else from the public wishing to speak on this case? Okay, it is 6:52. I'm closing the public comment. So there's a question about where the house is proposed to be.
Have you seen the plans? Or how should I explain them to you? If you come up here, Stanley, I'll show you on the plan where the landowner who's gonna be buying, your new neighbor, is thinking about it now. So at this point, here's the driveway, here's Ledge Farm Road, here's your house.
Hopefully
Your bees
soon.
right along the lot line.
Oh, you've seen those.
Oh, yeah, I saw them. Right on the lot line.
They're a little off the wall.
Yeah, I know, but that's fine. And I know to stay out of the path too, so we don't
Right,
get stuck.
right.
So at the end,
They're happy girls, they
good,
really are.
good. So at the end of the driveway, which is up here, there's a little knoll, and ideally, he'd like to have his house on that knoll.
Okay, so this is the field.
This is the field, yeah, there's a
And
tree,
then-
that's the woods.
Okay, so it's inside the woods.
Yeah, he doesn't wanna
That's
see
what I thought.
anybody either.
Perfect.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Thank you very much, appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right. Any other clarifications or questions the board has? Before we take action? So Blair, what would those extra conditions precedent be?
Items 1 through 6.
I think it's gonna be, you've already addressed the driveway. Do you feel like there's a need to add a note? Like it's, like you've shown it as it's less than 8%. Were you planning to add a note or something? I thought you said something.
I did.
Yeah.
And what I was referring to was the apron.
Oh, okay.
That note specifically about the apron, which was one of your comments, so that's what I was going to add. And I
Okay.
may just do that in the area where Skip, where we're talking about constructing the driveway, I'll put in apron as required in the right of way.
Okay.
Blair, were you talking about
Probably
item
pave the whole
3?
driveway.
Sorry.
Were you talking about item 3 in the grade?
I thought it was 3. It turns out it's 6.
Okay.
Yes, because 6 is where I mentioned the apron. I knew it was driveway related. I didn't know what it was. So
We don't need note 3 anymore, because
that's
in.
correct.
Okay.
1, 2, and 3 are all. I mean, 2 wasn't really anything. It was just me saying something. 3 it's been addressed. He shows it. That's fine. So I think 4, 5, and a modified 6 is what we're looking at.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I probably to add that the waiver was granted on this date.
Yes, and that was the other thing, you should do, definitely put that on there. That the waiver was granted.
Okay, so,
So I guess that's,
I just wanted to say that in our list of conditions precedent, we have, submit signed monument certificate, which has already been done.
yes.
okay, so the conditions precedent would be to submit final plan copies, digital and hard copies with professional seals and signatures, pay all application and consultant fees, add note to the plan set that Ledge Farm Road is a scenic road, edit note 1 to correct formatting of grammatical errors and consider breaking into multiple notes, editing note 1, line 1, which states that the proposed lot number is 6-1, when it should say state 6-3, and to note the subdivision regulation section applying to aprons for the driveway.
And a note for the waiver request, the approved waiver request.
And a note on the plan for the approved waiver request. And then the conditions subsequent, that would be completed as part of the project, are that the applicant shall have 12 months to comply with conditions of approval. And then we have a standard recommendations for finding of fact there too, which I'm not gonna read off. So do we have anybody who would like to make a motion on this case?
I'll make a motion on this case. So we have case number 26-012 subdivision on LaGrange for Ledge Farm Road. And that we approve this with the conditions as delineated by Drew. And we're adding a note to, I have a note that we're gonna add an apron onto the plan that I don't think you caught in that list. Pursuant to subdivision regs 15.3.2.6. And that we have discussed the Conservation Commission meeting and agenda and details, and you were present, and that we're satisfied with their conditions. And that we've gone through the plan, and we're satisfied with the conditions and to approve it.
Okay, we've got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All right, that passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Board. Good evening.
Okay, next up on our agenda, are there other?
Excuse me, can I
Yes,
just ask one thing?
sure.
Is the entire board still signing the Mylars? Or is it just the chairman?
We haven't, we've discussing this, we haven't gotten to a conclusion yet.
Okay,
So right now, put a bunch of.
I'll rephrase it then. As soon as I can get a Mylar possibly signed will be 2 weeks from today. Once I get the Mylar to you next week, early next week, you'll have a week, Blair will be able to look at it. You'll have the Mylar here, we'll have to get the stamps and everything on there. Could it be signed as soon as 2 weeks, or could it be signed sooner if you decide just the chairman could sign it? If it's available. You're still working on whether it could be, so 2 weeks, right today, it could be earlier, if everything's in order, maybe.
So the next meeting is the 12th, which is in 3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks.
So it'd be 3 weeks or,
Or,
If Tracy lets us know, we can come down ahead and sign if it's
Yeah,
not here, but I don't know what
That's not a
everybody's
problem.
schedule looks like for that. I think we all live here in town.
I'm just trying to think if we could, we've got a short meeting tonight, maybe this is something we could discuss now. I'm just wondering, is it a change to the bylaws, or is it actually a change to subdivision regulations or something?
I think it's just a change to the bylaws.
Is that what it would be?
guess I'm not familiar with that part in our bylaws.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was an option until another planner brought it up. And I know, like I said, I know we've talked about talking about it, but we haven't gotten there yet.
We're good at talking about stuff.
I think the answer is TBD. It'll be no longer than 3 weeks,
So take it.
the August 12th meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
August 12th.
You
Thank
have
you.
a word on that. We will do what we can to get it.
Notify me if we'll have everything in order, but we are now recording the Mylar, right? But you guys don't, I don't believe, Tracy.
Correct.
Do you record the Mylar? So
No.
we get it to the planning board, get it to you, Tracy. Chance it might get signed early if you change the method or procedure tonight. We got it. Worst case, August 12th for complete board signature. Got it. That's good news? Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We can take this up later in the meeting when we discuss our master plan, site plan regulations, and zoning ordinances in that section, I think.
Good at waiting.
Okay, next up, on other business, we have to discuss revising the fee schedule to reflect it says SPRC, but I think it should be SRPC increase.
It's an other.
Okay, so, yeah, if you go to your case/other tab in your folder, you should have that.
In subdivision regs.
So is this the current one, or,
Current is 85.
The current one's 85, we just
Okay.
did this in March.
gotcha,
And Ellen gave me the new contract that's gonna be signed.
okay,
And I highlighted it, it goes from July 1st of 26 to June 30th of 27. And the new rate will be 95.
okay.
So I'm gonna put this in the calendar so we can be better prepared next year in June, that we know this is gonna happen. For the,
And does anybody recall what we need to do to update our fee schedule, or do we just revise it and post it online and then we're done? Do we need to do anything official with that?
It just has to be voted on, and then that gives me the power to change it and post it.
Pass the power. Check.
She's in control.
So the rate is meant to match what the current SRPC
Contract.
contract rate is, okay.
I'll make a note that we, proposal that we accept this agreement and the, at 95 per hour with the dates stated, and that we update our land use fees on our fee schedule.
We need to know what we're updating them to before we do that.
Yeah, it's the 95 on the,
Well, I know the rate to SRPC, but the land use fees, if we're going to make an adjustment.
it'll just be on the fee sheet.
It's in there, it's
I think-
About
highlighted.
halfway,
Oh, yeah, I see it highlighted.
Yeah,
just that line right there.
Am I missing something? Are we talking about increasing our fees to account for the
Yeah,
increase in rate?
so the SRPC rate has increased to $95. And so our fee schedule right now has it at a rate of $85
Are we
that
going
the
to,
town bills at.
right, are we going to increase, never mind.
we're just
I
going
was
to
just, we're
increase
just looking at
this,
increasing
not
that,
any of
not
these.
Yeah,
just,
not any of
that's
those.
what I
At
was,
least,
I was thinking we were
Yep,
gonna be
just that
increasing.
highlighted part to match the
Okay.
$95 increase.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
the
there's,
$95 per hour.
yes,
rate.
per hour rate. Mr. Evans, maybe the motion that you made might be a little more specific, that that's what we're updating, is the 85 per hour to 95 per hour.
Yes, as per the contract, and then also on the fee schedule from 85 to 95.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, there's a second. Any further discussion on this?
I found this fee schedule buried in the subdivision regs at one point. And I'm not, it also includes site plan and some of the other things. So to me, it doesn't appear that to me that the fee schedule needs to be in each document, or it's in each regulation, or we put it in each regulation. Seems like it should be only in one place.
It is available online. I think that's where
Yeah.
probably most applicants
Yeah.
get it from.
Yeah, but I found it buried in,
Oh, like an old version of it or something?
I think it was
Okay.
in here. I just stumbled upon it someplace. I don't, could have been
Gotcha.
site plan or something, but anyway, it should be just a posted
Yeah.
kind of thing. Okay.
Agreed. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All right, unanimous. You've got the power now, Tracy. Okay. Next up is general public comment. So we reserve a time during every meeting to hear from the public. During this public comment session, this board can't respond to comments made about specific properties, projects, or applications. It is 7:07 PM. Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak?
I actually came in from the photos that you were here, but it's not for what I thought it was. Good thing I don't live far away.
Data center they were proposing, is there a meeting coming up? I know there's like a moratorium on it now, right? Is there gonna be like a thing about that? Cause that's like literally right behind our house.
I just had a representative come to the house and do a petition, so I'm not sure if he's supposed to be like presented to you guys.
Yeah, so there's a subcommittee that's been formed to look at zoning and subdivision and site plan regulation updates. And the 12-month moratorium has passed this board. That happened on July 1st.
Yep.
And it's now with the town as a warrant.
Okay.
And there was some clarification that the town needed to make whether or not that moratorium vote could happen during the primaries in September.
Yeah.
Because that was the preference of the town, that they be held in, in conjunction to save the town some money. But there was an RSA that was a little unclear whether or not that was allowed. And we've gotten input since then, the select board has, and it is allowed to do it. So it's gonna be September 8th.
Okay, so there's
Alright.
nothing tonight. Someone, literally a representative from Northwood told me to come here tonight at 7 o'clock, and I was like, I think.
No, I think the subcommittee on the zoning and regulation updates met yesterday evening, is that right? Yeah, but we're not we don't
Yeah,
have.
no, I completely understand. I just wanted to make sure because I'm like,
Yeah,
I'll do it
yeah.
anyways, just in case, because I couldn't find anything on it, and he had the petition that said to not be built by residential homes. That's what he was trying to push forward. But I
Yeah,
also know there's a bill in the House too as well going to take the power away from the towns.
yeah, that type of thing would definitely be
Yeah.
something that should be brought to the
Yeah.
subcommittee that's
Yeah,
looking at
okay,
these, because
that's
that's
what
what
I'm
they're
trying to
kind
find
of
out, because
dealing
he just said
with.
7 o'clock tonight, and I was like, that's anything on the paperwork.
Yeah, I think it was maybe 7 o'clock
It's always good
yesterday
to come
evening.
and not know and just like not.
Yeah,
Sounds like that was Jim.
yeah.
All right, so we're gonna take off then. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, 7:09, closing the public comment. Now it's time for select board committee, staff, and board member updates, and I'm gonna start to my right. Really keeping you on your toes tonight. Skip, anything?
I thought by now I'd have some sort of a CIP thing, but there's been other complications, so I'm not sure where that is at this point in time, but so that's it.
All right, Mr. Lichtenwalder?
Nothing from me.
All right, Mr.
Nothing
George?
from me.
Mr. Griswold? Okay, my only update was gonna be the moratorium being held during the September primaries, so there's not gonna be a special election just for that. It'll occur during the primaries in September, and that's going to be held here at Town Hall, not at the school or anywhere else. So I'm sure that'll be well advertised in advance, but make sure not to miss that.
Just gonna mention for the camera that the zoning and regulation update subcommittee meetings are at first and third Wednesdays at 7 PM, and the next one's August 5th. All are welcome.
Did we hear anything from the applicant on that project at all?
No, this board hasn't received anything.
Okay. Nothing to add.
So, I met with the, master plan subcommittee, last week. And, we're getting to the end of both chapters. And, they had expressed a preference to present them individually. So what needs to happen procedurally is that once the chapter update is wrapped up on my part, like writing it, I have to bring it in and present it to this board, to the full planning board. And then the planning board would have a 30-day comment period where the document's publicly available, town website, that sort of thing. I would take in any comments, make any edits, and then we would have a hearing for the board to consider adopting it. So we would do this for each chapter, and they expressed a preference to do it separately. I would agree with that. The housing one is going to be ready to go pretty soon. What we had discussed was presenting that one on August 12th. Then August 28th, whatever it is, your second meeting is slated to be, August 26th is slated to be the joint board meeting, so we don't do any business. And then the next meeting after that would be September 9th, where I would present the natural resources chapter. So if this group is okay with that, then Tracy, Drew and I will work on getting that scheduled and put on the agenda and get that going. I would get the chapter to you at least, the Friday before, when I try to get, my usual stuff to you but that's it. That was so before the August 12th meeting and the September 9th meeting. So that's where we're at. So I guess this is a request or an ask to see what your preference is, if that plan works for you.
I do have one question.
Yeah.
I was not able to attend the last meeting, being on that master plan committee. Do we get an advanced copy of drafts of that, or are we just gonna wait until you see that? That plan.
I sent it out to the subcommittee on Friday of last week.
Okay.
So you would have been on that one, so check your spam folders or wherever. But yeah, you were on that email. So
So that's the updated draft of the housing?
that's correct.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think I'm looking for comments back by the end of the month. Or was it tomorrow? I have to check my notes. Check the email.
Okay.
And then I would make my revisions and get it to this board in advance of the meeting. The latest would be the Friday before. I'll try to get to you as soon as I have it ready to go. If you recall, these are done as individual chapters, but as part of a larger plan, because the subcommittee is trying to complete the other chapters as well. So normally we would have like a whole write-up about what we did for public outreach and public participation and stuff. But one, the public participation included both chapters. And two, it seemed a little odd to have a public participation section in these chapters. So we're trying to figure out how to deal with that. If there needs to be like a full write-up, if it would be an addendum or like an appendix kind of thing. But for the most part, like all the data, all the information, all the recommendations, the action plan for each chapter will be in that chapter. So, in theory, they're standalone chapters, but that one piece is sort of hanging out there. So yeah,
Drew, I mean Blair, what was done for public input? I don't remember seeing anything, so I'm just wondering.
Yeah, you know, these have been going on for about a year and a half
Yeah.
now. What we tried to do was have the conversations together as a single unit for the natural resources and the housing, like balancing housing growth with natural resource protection. And we had a public workshop here where we broke out into 4 groups, you know, exercises at each one. And the exercises were housing and natural resources related. We did a pretty extensive survey during the housing chapter that had some natural resources component to it, but it was predominantly housing. And it was more long form answer. So what do you think about X, Y, or Z? And then type in your response as opposed to multiple choice. We did do a survey for the natural resources chapter that was more multiple choice, a little bit shorter.
I seem to remember that one. That was in short, when they were all mailed.
No, these
No,
was
SurveyMonkey.
what's the, yeah, it was SurveyMonkey. It was done through email. It was all online.
So how do you know the town has your email to be able to send this to?
It went
Yeah,
on
we
the
didn't-
newsletter, it was
Yeah, we
posted
would
on
do
there, and
whatever we-
posted in various places to, you know, take the survey. We would have liked to have had a bigger response, but there
Yeah.
was a response.
Yeah, that's why when you do these things and you have multiple choice and you say, oh, 50% of people said something as well, it's 50% of the people that respond.
Exactly.
So the subcommittee was was fine with doing short, you know, less questions, but looking for more robust answers. And I thought it revealed some interesting stuff. You know, if you read through them, you'll see a wide range of responses. So it was a different approach, but I thought it got us some interesting responses. And you'll notice in the chapters, I pull some of the responses out and highlight them in a little text box so that you can see responses from the community. So it sort of annotatizes the chapter and, you know, kind of brings it to life a little bit, tells that story. What else we do? Oh, the BioBlitz. The BioBlitz was an idea that was generated through the outreach plan, but it was largely driven by the Conservation Commission and just volunteer individuals organizing and put it together. With this PREPA grant that we just got, I think we could actually put some money towards it to sort of help it out a little bit. But, you know, we'll have another presence in that one as well. But yeah, that was a piece. And then we did, as part of the natural resources contract, we had a subcontract with a company called GZA to do to identify potential vernal pools on public lands. And we did a training session that anybody could come in as volunteers and get trained on how to identify vernal pools. We actually went out into the field and looked at a couple vernal pools. So that was pretty cool. That was really interactive. So that was another piece of engagement.
If I could just make one clarification there, the vernal pool assessment was done on conserved lands, not just publicly accessible lands. So there are some, you know, privately owned lands that are in conservation easement that you need permission to access, but they were part of the vernal pool assessment as well. But the idea that the Conservation Commission will reach out to the landowners to see if they would be willing to let, you know, the commission go out and verify the potential vernal pools that were on their, identified on their property.
Okay.
Just wanted to make that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Did I miss anything else on the outreach?
Carrie, the survey is available if you want to kind of go through the survey and look
Are you
backwards.
still accepting responses?
No,
Yeah.
but it's.
That's fine then.
I think
I
I
don't need to
closed
see
it.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think I closed it in advance of the last meeting because I gave them the results.
On the,
You sent it on online though, I believe, so it may still be out there as far as if you want.
Yeah, you might be able to see it, you just can't respond to it. I don't know
Yeah.
how SurveyMonkey deals with it.
It's fine. Thank you though. Appreciate it.
and you discussed the community workshop Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, we had a community workshop in the gymnasium here. Yeah. So a lot of that was all last year, because that's kind of how we did it. We had a few initial meetings, and then we did the public outreach to sort of get some information.
Yep.
And then, wrestle with the data, putz around with the action items, and then I produced the report. Technically, the final public outreach piece is the presentation to the board, because it's a presentation to the public through this board. And anyone can attend, anyone can ask questions, anyone can comment then and there, and then they have 30 days to actually go through the document and make comment. So that is considered a part of the public participation, because it's planned as being an open forum.
Thank you.
So are we good for the 12th and the 9th? If we go through with that, no objections? Okay. I just have to get both those presentations done per our contract by September 30th, and I don't want to run the risk of going into that last meeting of September and something happens, we get a big application or something. So for right now, that'll be the plan.
Do you submit invoices along the way or accounting along the way to HOP or whoever?
Yeah. I think we do it every couple of months.
Okay. So,
Yeah, and we give them an update. I do that through Ellen, just like a status report about what we've done.
good.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's it on that front. Any other questions on the plan, on the chapters? So then the last thing is, I did send out a notice to the other land use boards about the joint meeting at the end of August. Haven't heard anything back yet. I don't anticipate anything. I could probably send out another tickler just to see if anybody has any comments or thoughts. But I would just expect it to be similar to previous ones. We do a little bit of a talk, tell them about what we did, go over some of the regulation changes from town meeting, and then talk about some of the ones that we're thinking about doing in the upcoming year, and then listen to what they have to say. Kind of ground truth our thoughts, and just let us know if there's problems bubbling up that they think needs to be addressed, or something that they want to, no, we need to start talking about this year. It's pretty open-ended. It just kind of depends on who shows up.
Has anything happened with Dale's?
Not yet. Okay. Yeah. I'd like to see something happen. I think we just,
Yeah, it's just,
other stuff.
yeah. Good way to put it, yeah.
Yeah. I think I have it on the agenda as a topic to bring
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah,
It was
joint
on
meeting, it is.
If nothing else, maybe Dale brings it up and just says, hey, let's all agree to meet 30 days from now or something like that,
Sure.
Because I would like to see that come to a conclusion. It did have some good ideas in it, so we just have to get to it. So that's it for me. That was a lot, but those are the two big items.
Tracy, anything?
In the back of your binder, there are documents from Jim Hadley. He does a lot of research on data center, and he's got some really good information in there. He submitted letters like once a week.
Yep.
So I'll be putting them in your binder. I'm not sure we should be mailing them, because it's gonna make the packages really heavy, but I can email them to everybody if you'd like to see them. Pretty good information.
I think emailing them to the board and then putting them in the back of the binders is good. I don't think you have to actually mail them out with our packets or anything. Okay. Next up on our agenda is reviewing master plan, site plan regulation, and zoning ordinance. There was discussion earlier in this meeting about discussing whether or not we wanted to figure out if the entire board needs to sign Mylars, or if we change that to just need the chair's signature. And Blair, you're the one who kind of brought that up as a possibility, so I might let you take the lead on
Yeah, no.
discussing what allows us to do that, or
So Bart McDonough, who is the town planner for Newmarket, really good guy, he's the director of planning and community development. I don't know how we got onto this, but basically he said, the planning board changed their subdivision regulations to have the planning director or the planning board chair sign the approved plans. Further, the board also scrapped requiring Mylar. We only see it being used in cases when the registry requires it. Thus far, the policy changes worked out pretty well across here in Newmarket. And he gave me a link to the regulations. So it sounds like it sounds like it's within their regulations, their subdivision regulations. But I did not find it in ours. While there was a discussion going on, I was trying to do word searches and I didn't find anything under signature, Mylar, in planning board bylaws, the zoning, or did I check the subdivision regulations?
So if I may,
Go ahead, please.
RSA 674-37, it's the plat law, part of it, says that any plan, and such approval has been endorsed in writing on the plat in such manner as the planning board may designate, except as provided in the other plat law. So
It leaves it up to us.
it leaves it up to us.
And it doesn't say where that even has to be, right? It can be in the bylaws, it could be in.
Yeah, it just says that it needs to be, the approval needs to be endorsed in writing on the face of the plat, period.
Gotcha.
I think, yeah, so that's pretty open-ended. Registries are, I think, county-based, and I think that they have they have internal policies. As Bart said, they scrapped doing Mylar and just, you could sign up, he could produce it on a paper copy. It doesn't have to be Mylar material.
Stratford County, Carroll County, and Belknap all do paper. Merrimack County will do paper, but they'll be grumpy about it. And Rockingham is like, absolutely not, we want it on Mylar.
They do.
And they are awful to deal with.
Okay, so there you go. So, and then, sometimes it depends on what they accept for a plan. I think for the most part, though, that as long as internally it's agreed upon by the town, I think if you were to designate the chair as the person to sign the Mylars, that would be fine. And I think we really do need to do this because too many times we've had documents sit here. And it's a lot to ask you all to come in to do it. You have lives, you have jobs, you have things. I know we all intend for the best, but I just think it's probably best if we do something like this, now that we know it's an option. Did you happen to find it anywhere in our subdivision regulations?
I did not.
I wanna say someplace in here it says signature block,
Hmm.
but I haven't found that yet.
In the subdivision or the zoning?
Any of them,
Okay,
or not,
Here we go. I just found it by
I
typing
don't
in
think it's in
Mylar.
zoning.
It's so much easier to do it on the computer. Yeah.
Article 8, plan requirements, 8.14, plat plan requirements. All plans shall be drawn in ink on materials such as Mylar, which is suitable for electronic scanning and archiving, and be presented on sheet sizes that conform to the following requirements from the Rockingham Registry and Registry of Deeds. Let's see if it's in the signatures.
Which one are you in?
8, Article 8,
It's,
of the subdivision regs.
it's on page 20.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything, just says original signatures and proper approvals as required. but that's not our signatures anyway.
And I just run an internet search and it says, among other things, rarely do all 5 or 7 members sign. Characteristically, the chairman signs the Mylar after conditions have been met.
Yeah, if you're allowed to do it this way, it does seem silly to continue with this practice of, it takes up a lot of space on the plans and it's just.
Do we need to put it in either the subdivision plans or
Okay,
the
I found
bylaws
it.
or?
8.3, section 4, it's on page 22. Plans shall also contain a signature block for board approval and a revision block for noting dates of changes. The signature block shall be of sufficient size to have 7 signatures from the board. The words planning board approval shall be located at the top of the signature block. So,
Well, that just says it has to be of sufficient size to
Size,
have
yeah.
7
Yeah.
signatures.
right,
You can say it shall have 7 signatures from the
One
board.
could
valid,
interpret.
entirely valid.
But they do look for the signature block.
Yeah, it needs to have,
Registry does, yeah.
Yeah. but instead of 7 signatures, it could just be 1.
Yeah.
But it does have to say, as the words planning board approval, blah, blah, blah. No, that's a good find. I guess I would leave it to the board to decide if we can give the chair permission tonight, or if we have to change the regulations. I mean, I think we should change the regulations to make it clearly state that the chair can do it, but I think for the purposes of this current one, it's open to interpretation. But yeah, we should bump that up the list and add it to the list of those priority ones.
Well, that's next in our meeting agenda is to talk about changes and things that we need to do. We have a whole bunch of outstanding changes that we want to throw out at the subdivision regs that we pushed off from the zoning regs because of the town meetings.
We're in that section of the meeting. We just are starting off with this since it was brought up earlier in the meeting to discuss it, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we could make an action on that now, I think. I think we could change
Yeah, we
the
just-
subdivision regs at any time was what we,
We have to hold a public
It
hearing.
has to be a public hearing.
To do it, so it's, there's another
zoning
step.
regs or subdivision regs? That's what-
Zoning needs the town to vote on it.
Right.
Our subdivision reg needs a public hearing on any changes that we're gonna make. So we'd have to say what those are and hold a public hearing at, I guess we'd only have the next meeting to do it. Otherwise, it's gonna be the beginning of September that we'd be able to, since we have the joint meeting, during our second August, meeting.
Perhaps a couple people here could kind of look at this and try to zero, like Glenn just zeroed in on this because he's a surveyor and he deals with multiple towns and every town has different policies and probably sees this more than any of us in the world.
We're also gonna have a hearing for the housing chapter at the next meeting in August. But we could make some, make some actions on a couple of these things. We could say for this, what is this, 8.3, part 4, it should just say the signature block shall be of sufficient size to have the chair of to have.
If I can offer.
Yeah, sure.
If we can put in specific words, like, for example, Rochester has a block that they want you to use. It just says, planning board approval granted this date, chair here, planner here, that's it. And doing something like that where you don't have to necessarily, try and figure out from something like this, I think would be a good way to handle it so that we can just say, planning board approval, town of Nottingham, chair, date, done.
Okay. Yeah, I made a note, see Rochester's. I can go grab theirs. And I won't add my name to it because unless you want it to be the clerk's, but I'm just not here.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean, I
think the
would
chair
think
is
that if we had,
sufficient.
You know,
I think what
because
I do is-
Rochester has, a full planning department, so.
And I think what you need me to do is just to review it and send somebody an email saying, yes, they've met the conditions. I think is really what is important. The signature is for the recording purposes. But yeah, I can do
And
that.
you'll review the Mylars before anyway? Or
Sorry?
do they send them the
I review the electronic version.
Yes, the electronic, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I always look at. And then I send someone, either I send them an email to say, no, you missed something, or I send an email to the chair.
Okay.
Or maybe to the whole board. It's been a little while, but I'll let you guys know that, yes, we're ready to go. We can sign this.
So, back to this RSA 676-1, rules of procedure. It says, many boards include provisions in the rules of procedure or bylaws authorizing the chair to sign the approved plans on behalf of the board. So I think we would probably make a change for our rules of procedure and to our subdivision regs.
Sure.
So our bylaws are something that we can take up and change at any time. Those don't need a public hearing. Right, Blair?
Correct,
Yeah.
yes, that is correct.
So we could, my reading of the subdivision reg 8.3, section 4 doesn't specifically require all 7 signatures from the board. So I think we could, tonight, we could put something in our bylaws saying that the chair is, authorized to sign on behalf of the board, something like that. And then take up, modifications that Glenn suggested at a public hearing. That way we can make the change that we want and be able to act on it a bit sooner, while still going through the public hearing process necessary to update the subdivision regs. And I think that would probably work better than trying to get a public hearing going for the first August meeting, because that might be cutting things close. I don't know exactly when the 10-day notice, advance notice would be, but I want to make sure we don't make a change and then have to go back and change it again because we didn't do it right.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Do you need a motion to change the bylaws?
Yeah, I think we should figure out where
Where?
that would go in the bylaws.
Where's that section you were looking at?
It's section 9,
Yep.
Article 9, section 1. The planning board may appoint such employees as it deems necessary for its work. Now, that being said, looking at RSA 673-16, that's talking about professionals, like engineers or architects, or Blair, not necessarily about the powers of the board.
Well, why don't we slot in a section 3 then at the end there that just deals specifically with this, letting the,
Or should we add it
It-
to Article 3 under officers and their duties and add that under chairperson?
There's a section 4 that has decisions,
as well.
page 10, decisions.
Page 10 of the bylaws?
Yeah, he's right. Section 4 is decisions.
Oh, yeah.
Rules of procedure there, which is what he was quoting from, as far as the RSA was concerned.
Oh, it's section 4 under Article 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was looking
So page 10-ish.
Yep.
11, 10-ish. Because I don't know if these are, I don't know if I have to get up-to-date ones.
So we could add a section D, or
Part D.
part D, in accordance with RSA 674-37. The chairperson shall sign any plats to indicate approval by the board.
Shall have the authority to sign on behalf of the
There you
board.
go. I like that.
Yeah,
It's designated.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me.
So are we making
Does that-
a motion here?
I think we're
Yeah.
discussing if that's the right language, but I think
Right,
we are kind of, yeah, that's,
I do like to have the authority to.
yeah, yeah.
But
So,
We on page 10?
let's see.
yes,
Okay.
Something similar to section 4,
ish.
page 10-ish, section 4D, at the board chair is authorized on behalf of the board to sign Mylars, or, I'm trying to make it, because if not, if Rockingham no longer does Mylars at some point, so
Actually, we sign,
it would be signed plats.
plats,
Okay.
yep,
because,
or approved subdivisions, something along those
site plan review
lines.
plans need to be signed, but they're not recorded.
Mm,
So
mm,
you do wanna state it in a way that does capture that.
yeah.
Okay, so just signs all plats and or approved plans.
Yeah.
Any approved plat or plan.
Internet thing here, authorizing the chair to sign approved plans on behalf of the board. It's the simple verbiage in there.
Mhm.
Authorizes the chair.
To sign approved plans on behalf of the board.
To sign.
Are you using AI over there?
I tapped into the data center in another town in Portsmouth. They're, right now, we're burning up their water and, you know, they get the ocean right there though.
Can't use that.
So is just saying plans adequate to cover all of that, or does it?
I'm keeping it plat or plans, but do you want me to have
No, plat or plans.
plat or plans?
I'd say it's a good idea.
Okay. I mean, plats are a
the same
subset
thing,
of plan,
Yeah,
but it is more specific.
Just
Yeah.
kind of indicates there's more than one thing.
Okay. All right, are we comfortable with that language that we've?
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple. Authorizes the chair to sign approved plats or plans on behalf of the planning board.
In accordance with
yes.
674-37. I just wanna make sure that that's on there.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, what about, I'm just reading further. We have subdivision plan, we have site plan, you know, like on a commercial application.
This is for any plan or plat, so a site plan review, it'll authorize
Adjustment.
any of those, or a
Any of
Mylar
them.
for a subdivision. I
Okay,
think it's gonna be general enough to cover it all.
Yeah, we start getting too specific, you end up missing something. I think this is.
I agree, yeah.
Like a condominium.
I'm just kind of burning through here and just kind of stuff that's jumping out here.
Do we sign? You know, like the larger subdivisions, they have to do an HOA. Do we sign anything there? I know we have,
Just the plan.
it's just the plan.
Yeah, I don't think we signed that.
It's referenced on the plan.
Yeah, and it's
Generally
recorded, but it's
yeah.
not anything that we sign, right?
Correct.
Right. Generally, in a situation like that, the town's attorney will look it over and make sure that everything's kosher. But before it gets recorded, but they can make changes as they need to, depending on how things are put together there. For example, I've got a condominium plan sitting in my truck right at the moment that needs to go to Rochester. That there is a large common area that has a specific description, but that description needs to go to the town or city for their review before that plan can get recorded.
Right, they have to approve it, but There's no signature from the town that's involved.
Right.
Okay,
Just on the face of the plan.
yeah, so I think we're good with plats and plans.
All right.
Okay.
Somebody want to make a motion to add that to our bylaws?
I will make that motion.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I will second.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, that passes.
And,
Get my signing hand exercised.
and do we wanna continue with this in the subdivision regs? That, we're gonna modify the signature block section of that to,
Yeah, we just,
Yeah, that'll,
that'll be part of the hearing.
Yeah.
right. So we've got a running list of things that we need to update in the subdivision. They haven't been updated in 11 years, so.
right, right.
Um,
So do you wanna make a note of that to, do you
Yeah,
have
I
a
think-
running list?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the list.
Yep.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Blair, does your running list have the appendix at the end of the subdivision regs? Am I on the subdivision? Yeah, that, or maybe it was the site plan regs. Nope, it's appendix 2 on page 101 of the subdivision regs. This has come up a handful of times, and Mr. Landry brought it up again, there are apparently 2 projects that he's working on that are both on scenic roads, but he wasn't aware that they counted because the appendix, it says Nottingham tax map, but it's actually the 911, the 911 map numbers that are on there. And so they don't actually correspond, and that's been, I mean, this hasn't been changed for 11 years, so that's been the case for a while. And I know this has come up with something on Stevens Hill Road in the last couple of years as well, where the applicant didn't realize that it was a scenic road because of that. So that seems like a pretty easy one that we could tackle as well, because all of those, the correct tax map numbers are in appendix 1. It was just that I think they got transposed when appendix 2 was made and the wrong column was copied in for those.
So in the subdivision regs, I have it that the list is correct, but the references are incorrect.
Right, the road names there are correct, but the second column that says Nottingham tax map, all of those are incorrect, and they're actually the 911 map values from the appendix right before it, the list of roads in Nottingham.
But it should be tax map.
It should be the tax map, yeah, it shouldn't be the,
So, I don't know the answer to this, but 911, E911 is going now, so is that a different set of maps than what we're in here? I'm guessing yes.
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the original E911 stuff was what, late 90s?
Well, yeah,
So,
but ended up being called 911.
right,
Now we have the E,
E911, right.
so.
But that was like, I'm pretty sure that was started mid 2000s.
This is just recently, last 5 years maybe. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what Dale's been working on. I don't know how long he's been working on it, but some things are now being identified on maps that weren't before. So I don't know if it's, I don't know.
Is that column even helpful? What does it
That's
provide?
kind of where I'm going with this. I don't
Yeah.
know why. This looks like a spreadsheet that the town has and they just dumped it in here,
Mhm.
rather than something that's applicable for those requirements that exist for subdivision. Not saying we,
Land the ownership column, there's a lot of updating needed there because of all the camp roads that were accepted as
Yeah.
public roads
Yeah.
a handful of years back.
and I don't agree with the ownership thing, but yeah, I mean, that is a column that I think is appropriate, whether it's town road, private road, or state road, or C6.
I mean, does this information need to be in the subdivision regulations?
Well, we require scenic road things.
Scenic road, yes.
Right.
Because it's a regulatory component, but just the list of road names, tax map, 911 map, and ownership, I mean, those seem like those are things that are kept by somebody else, and having them here just creates confusion.
Yeah.
I would agree.
And I think at one previous point in time, there was a list of state roads, list of town roads, list of private roads, and then those that are open, the C6 ones, which separate tables. I think the problem with that aspect is you always have to maintain it, which you're gonna have to do anyway, but you always have to maintain it for new roads that come in and some of that kind of stuff. And I think the idea previously was if you don't see it on the state road, then it's not on the state road. If you don't see it on the town road, then it must be private. I'm not sure that's adequate, so. So, does it have to be here? I'm saying, I don't think it does. I think we need to reference something that goes into the town office someplace.
So New Hampshire DOT has a GIS run through UNH that has a list of all state roads, town roads, private, which is okay. It's not spectacular.
Yeah.
But it is available.
Yes, but every year they ask the towns to tell them, and this town didn't do it for 4 years running. And
Yeah.
that's what we were, I still have not gotten that across the finish line. I'm at like the 95% finish, and we haven't gotten across. Like I had a GIS guy, we went through this meticulously with the police department and everything. But yeah, every year they're supposed to submit, and it doesn't happen. And it's unfortunate because you get state road funding depending upon your miles.
Right.
So by not submitting those updated, you're actually cheating yourself with some state funding, road bond funding.
But they also had how much of the road was paved, how much is dirt, how wide the road is, all that kind of stuff. They used to have in the selectmen's office.
Yeah, I'm sure they did at one time, but I think you guys are adding, I think when you were a much sleepier community, keeping things like that was a little bit easier, but I think you're adding new roads and you adopted or took ownership of
Voted to do all the lake roads and added 39 new roads, and half of them, we don't know how wide they are or where they are or anything.
So I just don't know, for the purposes of like what this board's purview is, having that as an appendix is helpful. I agree you could reference something, but I don't know what you would want to settle on with that. And again, what that would do. But designated scenic roads does need to be in there. For that reason, what needs to change in that list? Is it the numbers or the title at the top?
The numbers, those numbers that are in Appendix 2 are the 911 numbers from Appendix 1. Okay. Yeah, Teresa.
I think the first two may be correct and the rest weren't, and I physically looked at the map for every single one of those, and I have a list of what they should be.
But there's also like,
Case roads.
not, like some of these roads, it's not the whole road. Correct?
Yeah, like Case Road, for example, is only where it turns dirt, that it's the scenic road.
So that's why you have to make sure you get the correct numbers in there.
Same thing with Ledge Farm. Now, trying to think of an easier way of doing this than by,
So I can't just go up and get all, like I can't go up and look for Case Road and get in Appendix 1 and take all of the, it's the same ones.
Yeah, that one does seem to be correct. Yeah, Tracy.
I just question when you say like it's only the paved or only the dirt, because I've been doing a study on this and I haven't found anything that said that sort of thing, that it started and stopped. Everything that I found made it clear that it was like the whole road.
So like all of Case Road?
Yeah,
What she says, I think, is correct.
Okay, because I think the scenic road marker is right where it, I'll have to, yeah.
I don't know
take a
who
look.
put those up,
Okay,
but I think reality
Yeah.
is that the scenic roads were dirt. But over the years, we've paved some of it, and the paving aspect of things has never been picked up. And so there is, I think, some feeling out there that if you pave it, it's no longer a scenic road.
Do we have a definition of scenic road? Other than this short list here?
There's an RSA process for designating one.
Yeah.
Right, what I'm saying is there something definitional that we can look at?
Kitschy.
I'll share what I have, cause I'm thinking about it a little bit more, and there was one that had a section that ended at dirt, and Dale helped me figure out where was the dirt, where was the pavement, and then it left off the question of, now there was a new road, so did it end at the number before, or did it include the two new on that new road, because it was across from a historic mansion of some sort.
So that's,
I worked
yeah,
on this
that's
probably
kinda.
2 months ago, so I can't quite remember the name of it, but I'll share what I have, and you guys maybe can fill in the rest and help me to make it all right.
I feel like if we don't have some sort of definition, that we should have, you know, okay, it starts this far from the intersection of this road down for this many feet to here. Like, I feel like that's the more clear way of designating it rather than necessarily, you know, saying it by tax map.
Well,
or if
there was
a
an,
road.
Or if it is the whole road,
That
it's
makes
just,
it
it's
much
the whole
easier.
road.
Yeah, and you don't.
there
need to-
was, I mean, at one point in time, there was, what, a town meeting vote?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is where it would be.
Correct.
That's gonna
That's
be
where
your
it would be.
official.
Correct.
Now, you gotta go back a ways to find those. I don't know how far back, but,
Late 70s.
yeah, and is it paper, or do you even have a digital copy at this point? Like, maybe someone scanned it at some point. That's gonna be your official.
And that list is also in the subdivision regs. No, site plan,
I don't,
site plan regs. Not the scenic road, but the other list.
Yeah.
So, just throwing that out.
what, the list of roads?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not
Yeah.
scenic.
Let's see, so- Yeah. Interesting. And I also seem to think that that scenic road stuff started before 1980. So that's reflected in the previous planning and zoning documents.
Right, when you probably just had like a development controls document that captured everything.
Yeah, and then they wiped it out and started fresh with this.
That's probably how the transfer got screwed up.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard to say like what exactly you're.
Yeah, so do we know for sure that some of these roads are only partially designated as scenic?
I mean, I've heard it enough times that at least one or two of them is only partial.
Ledge Farm.
That I don't. But it always was so confusing in the conversation, I just would,
Glaze over.
yeah, let Ed figure it out.
This might have some clarity, because there's a little bit of a legend to it.
Okay.
Official scenic road file, look at that.
So I had Mitchell Road, I think.
It looks
might have been
fairly
the one that
recent.
had the special mansion on it. Yeah, Mitchell Homestead,
231,158.
Yeah.
designated scenic
Oh,
from
okay.
Smoke to Mitchell Homestead,
Hmm.
1974. And I think Ellen may have shared this with me. I don't know where it came from. A town record of some sort.
And where did, As edited for clarification by master plan update.
231, 157 has it.
Is this in the table 6.1? Let me see if this might be in the master plan in that chapter and I just didn't realize it.
Oh, that could be where this came from.
Right, transportation.
This may have come from the highway department.
Hey, there we go. It is. Chapter 6 of our master plan has a table 6-1 with scenic roads in Nottingham, and it has the date that they were adopted and then a little more descriptive. It says, first one, Poor Farm Road, from Ledge Farm Road to Epping, parentheses, Berry Road. And then Ledge Farm Road from Nottingham Square to Epping Town Line. Stevens Hill Road from Deerfield Road west to the Deerfield Town Line. Guile Road from McCrillis Road to Route 152, et cetera, et cetera. So the next one, Mitchell Road from Smoke Street to the Mitchell Homestead. Right, so that seems like a partial one.
What does pre say?
Priest Road from Freeman Hall Road to Route 152.
Really?
Yep, in 1978 is when that was adopted. And Case
78.
Road,
Yep.
yeah, 78. All these other ones were 1973 or 74.
Yep.
Case Road is from Mitchell Road to the beginning of the pavement on Case Road. So that is, yeah, it is just the dirt section.
So can we change
Can we just
these
put
tax
this
maps
in?
and put those descriptions?
Yeah,
in?
right.
I kind of like what you just said.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down right now to just basically either, to get that information.
This is table 6.1
Yeah,
in
yeah.
our master plan,
6.1.
the transportation one.
And I think
Can we
it's
just
came from the highway department and it
okay,
gives you
this
more
table-
description.
Yeah. Put it in.
This is appendix
I'll do
A.
this.
I'm pretty sure
This is now appendix 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Priest
I, I,
That's fine.
I can
What?
find the
Okay,
emailed
cool.
versions and I can share it.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where did this
Somewhere
come from?
along the way after
This
1978,
table?
got paid.
This is our master
Yeah.
plan,
Yeah.
chapter 6, the transportation
Scenic road.
chapter.
It
It's the
says
first
here,
Scenic
table.
road doesn't really mean anything.
it
All
says
you have to do is call it a scenic road.
each town shall maintain and make available to the public a list of all roads or highways or portions thereof within the town which have been designated as scenic roads. Such a list shall be kept current by updating not less than annually.
Yeah.
Well, I don't,
Yeah.
I don't think we've designated
I think that's
any.
on you.
Yeah.
Designate you that guy?
Here.
What I'm saying to you is, what was in the master plan is dead nuts.
I would agree.
Yeah.
But updating stuff, no, I'm sorry, it's
Yeah, we haven't apparently adopted any new scenic roads since 1978, so I don't think the
and that
list
kinda,
needs to be updated, right?
that kinda makes some sense.
Yep.
Dude,
You know, that you really, huh?
I'm just thinking, I kind of want to, make all of the lake roads that
Well-
are all real narrow and twisty and everything. Call those ones scenic roads.
Well, and that could happen.
And you're gonna have people driving down the scenic roads with no turnaround.
Oh, yeah, well,
But yeah, any road can be a scenic road. You just have to petition and get it voted. Nothing special about it, doesn't mean it's treed or.
Meet any requirements.
happens
again.
They had
If it is a
some notes
scenic road,
on
then-
Guile and I looked
You
at
have
the
to
map.
get-
Much.
you have to get permission from
Like
the
58 on one
Conservation
side
Commission
and one on the
to
other,
put
so
in
the
a
numbers
driveway.
are created.
That's,
They're
Pretty
all
much
it.
oh, and, yeah, don't mess with the
This
stone
here
walls.
says it's from
or
acrylics
historic
to-
trees.
Oh, yeah, because Kyle goes, okay, yeah.
The story for when that got shut off.
You're saying that it's- Which number that,
Yeah, I looked up,
Kinda mad at
those
me.
are the house numbers.
Somewhere around
Interesting,
2004.
But like Mitchell,
However, it
Mitchell
ended-
Road, I think is
I think
basically
it ended
the
at
whole
an
road.
intersection.
It says to the homestead,
yeah, at the intersection of
Is the
McCrillis Road.
homestead at the end of the road?
I believe so, yeah.
All right,
So-
well, that's helpful.
It's funny, I was always under the impression that Priest Road was only scenic from the dirt, and that's how they got away with paving it.
No, but I mean, Stevens Hill Road is entirely scenic, but it's
There's
constantly
Okay,
getting
yeah.
more pavement on it.
If the road gets washed out too much, then they tend to pave it.
Yeah.
My understanding was that they wanted to build. So that something, because the same builder built a lot of those houses, my house was one of them on that stretch.
On that
I think it's
That was
because
a-
there's been so much
Yeah.
additional houses that have been put on Stevens Hill Road that it, you know, the wear from all the additional traffic probably merited
Yeah.
paving it, at least in the towns.
I don't
There are
think,
definitely sections of
does
it
the
that need.
RSA reference like the material of the road? It's just stone walls and trees, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's significant trees, it's not even just trees.
Right.
Yeah.
And it does say that the towns can adopt stricter rules than what's given in the RSA, but that's in the, what is it, 158, that next section.
But the road,
Yeah, 15 inches or more.
Yeah.
4 feet from the ground.
the designation of the road itself doesn't have to have stone walls or trees.
Right. Scenic vistas, cultural byways.
Pastures, the definition doesn't say anything about any of that stuff. It's just then the requirements that are associated with scenic roads has built upon that.
Okay.
So the definition is 231-157.
I only have 158. Oh, definition. If anybody just wants to look at it.
No. Do you, before we get going, do you want me to look at anything else? I'll go back and find that list I sent before you, that we talked about a little bit, whatever edits. But I'll try to clean it, add these couple of things,
Yeah, that would be.
and get them before you, so that maybe at one of the next meetings, we can actually just focus this agenda item for those
Yeah.
and get to a hearing maybe in September or something. Because we're gonna have to switch.
Yep, right.
To-
Zoning's gonna be upon us before we know it.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't they just have zoning season webinar today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that. I might wanna take a look at that. I'll forward it to you from the state planning department. They did their webinar today, their lunch, their monthly lunch webinar, and today's topic was zoning season. Thankfully, we don't have a ton of mandates by the state that we have to, like we did last year, that we have to comply with. So we can just kind of focus on our own thing.
So you'll get some of that together so that we can maybe act on it in September and get a public hearing going for changing some of that. Awesome. Okay, let's move on to approval of minutes. We have two sets of minutes, draft minutes that need approving. One of them was from the public hearing for the moratorium on July 1st, and the other one was our last meeting on July 8th. I believe the ones from July 1st may have been given to you at the last meeting, is that right, Tracy? Okay. Okay, so let's do the July 1st minutes for the public hearing.
July 1 looked fine to me.
Where are these exactly?
The July 1st ones were given to us at the last meeting. I don't think you were here for that one, so you may not have, you got them in your email, but you might not have them.
Are they in here,
Is it
in our
clear?
package?
No.
I don't think so, no. Did they look fine enough to you to make a motion on them?
They do. I would make a motion to accept the minutes for 7/1/26 as presented.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I will second.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, that was what, 4?
I wasn't there,
You
so
weren't
I
there.
abstained.
I did not
Standing, okay,
abstain.
okay, so 4, and 2 abstentions. Okay. All right, that passes. Now on to July 8th. These were also sent via email.
Those look good as well. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for July 8th as presented.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, we have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. 4 and 2 abstentions.
I don't know what I am, I wasn't at that meeting.
You're in limbo.
All right, those were the 2 sets of meeting,
The minutes.
minutes that
Well,
we
I
needed
could
to
have, but
address.
I could offer something, but I mean,
One last thing before we adjourn, I just want to underscore that it's important to let Tracy and Blair know if you're not gonna be at the meetings. We barely had a quorum at the last meeting, and we're, if we don't have a quorum at a meeting, we can't do anything, and that can get us into some hot water in terms of what, if we have cases before us. So do let Tracy and Blair know, if you know you're not gonna be able to make it, even if it's last minute, just so we know what to expect, because we can, if we know we're not gonna have a quorum, we can figure out what we can do to, as a
Make it
contingency plan. Yeah. Okay, anybody wanna move to adjourn?
I will move to
All right.
adjourn the meeting.
Don't make me make that
My
motion.
job.
All right, all those in favor, please
I'll
indicate by
second
saying aye. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you all.